This is why we got into the IMF. You were spending too much relative to revenues, which is true. You were borrowing too much, which is true. Your external payments position has deteriorated, which is true. And so you ended up, your growth is reducing, which is true. So you ended up at the IMF, and the IMF would impose certain conditions, which is true. And if you don't do certain things right, the anchor will not hold, which is true. So I'm not quite sure what it is that is not true that I said. But I think, unfortunately, the supporters of this government and this government itself are very reluctant to admit the truth, even when it hits them in the face. Yeah.
True. Thank you.
Now, the same standard that Akufo Addo and Bawumia used to rate Mahama's government back in 2016 as incompetent, as a failed government. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Any government that goes to IMF has failed.
I hear some people argue that we should go to IMF. Any government that goes to IMF has failed.
Today we are using the same standard to rate their failure. Today we are using the same standard against them, and they don't want to understand why, because this government is being led by an incompetent president. This government is being led by a president who cannot appreciate and accept common criticism. This government is being led by a president who is arrogant, who is so full of himself. This government is being supported by people who are partisan and people who are tribalistic like some of you. But when baby, no cry, akwe se dro. Se echewa wa na beba. Se no cry no emia wa e se Dr. Panie wa na beba, I keep telling you. But this morning the president himself has confessed. In this Akufo Addo's government, so many people are confessing. Kennedy Japan has confessed. And this morning, the president, Muman Akufo Addo himself, has confessed. Or say, he has now accepted to say, the economy is struggling. The economy is struggling. Enti, wate ne salary so by 30%. Akufo Addo, ne numutong. Or say men country mo say they were jia to mo say e come no enkoye e come no e feli Ghana for wa ho kire mu nti wa take the salary so by 30%. You can find this article on www.freemindfamily.org. Akufo Addo say wa take the salary so by 30% to help boost the Ghanaian economy. Now let me ask you, say, what is 30% of Akufo Addo's salary? And what would that 30% do for 30 million people? The president, if he has now come to his senses, if he has now realized that the economy is not doing well and has decided to cut down on his salary by 30%, I want the president to know, say, 30% of his salary will not be able to save 30 million people. He must do the needful. The 16 regions that he created was an economic error. Because I know the number of ministers and the government appointees to a whooping 120 ministers or people. So Akufo Addo must do the needful by cutting down on his ministers from 120 to about 30. We don't need so many ministers in Ghana. A small country like Ghana with only 30 million people, we don't need so many ministers. The president must do the needful by, putting an end to his extravagant lifestyle, such as off-road private jet or spending 20,000 euros per hour. The president must do the needful by putting an end to the flamboyant, extravagant, luxurious lifestyle. Enu betimi aboa ama wetimi asevi sikabi e dia sevi Ghana maino. And again, the president must cut down on the gargantuan convoy, 120 vehicles, 150 vehicles, 200 vehicles, all using gargantuan fuel. The president must cut down on that. Serious. And the president must cut down on the salaries of all the ministers, all the government appointees, including members of parliament. Serious. Because 30% of his salary alone cannot do anything for 30 million people. Now, I've gotten some data for you, and I got this data from Joy News. I give them the credit. Joy News. I don't know if you are able to see on your screen. I've gotten you some data. Now, IMF bailout na yeka ho asem no eya na ebinum entiase. Let me take you back to the year 1999. Now, in the year 1999, Ghana went to the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and Ghana was given $303.5 million US dollars. Listen to me carefully. This is not Ghana cedis. And like I said, I got this data from Joy News. I give them all the due credit. This is not in Ghana cedis. This is in US dollars. This is not in Canadian dollar, Zimbabwean dollar, Liberian dollar. This is in the almighty American US dollars. Now, in 1999, Ghana went to the IMF and was given $303.5 million US dollars as bailout. Now, in 2003, Ghana went back to the IMF and was given $244.7 million US dollars as bailout. Now, then again, in 2009, Ghana went back to the IMF cap in hand and was given $513.9 million US dollars. Now, within the span of 30 years, since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, that's the data that I'm giving you. Now, in 2015, Ghana again went back to the IMF and was given $900 million US dollars. Now, in 2022, Ghana is going back to the IMF for more money. Because in 1999, the $303.5 million that they were given, they couldn't do anything substantial with it. Now, in 2003, the $244.7 million that they were given, they couldn't do anything productive with it. Now, in 2009, the $513.9 million that Ghanaians were given, they couldn't do anything tangible with it. Now, then again, in 2015, the $900 million US dollars that Ghanaians got by going to beg for money at the International Monetary Fund, they couldn't do anything productive with it. So in 2022, we are here at the same crossroad. We are going back to the IMF for bailout. We are going back to the IMF to go and beg for money cap in hand. Now, let me remind you, sir. Just hold on for a bit. Let me remind you, sir, in the year 2020, Ghanaians were given $2.4 billion US dollars. Now, we got this money through the IMF and through other international organizations which came to the aid of the people of Ghana. We were given, together with the IMF money and other monies that we got from international bodies or institutions, the Ghana government was able to gather $2.4 billion US dollars as COVID support in 2020 alone. Listen to me carefully. In 2020 alone, the Ghana government was able to gather $2.4 billion US dollars from the IMF and other international organizations as COVID support alone in 2020. We couldn't do anything tangible. We couldn't do anything productive. We couldn't do anything, we couldn't use that money to do anything productive. Now, 2 years down the line, we are broke as hell. 2 years down the line, we cannot feed ourselves. 2 years down the line, we are back at the same crossroad. We are here to cross the same bridge of going back to the IMF after we were given $2.4 billion US dollars in 2020 alone as COVID-19 support or COVID-19 support money or relief money. Now, this $2.4 billion is almost twice the money that IMF gave us in the span of 30 years. This $2.4 billion that our government, Akufo Addo and Bawumia, this Saskatchewans got from the IMF and other, international bodies in the year 2020 as COVID-19 support is almost twice the monies that Ghana got from the IMF in 1999. Hold on, let me give you the proper data. It's almost twice the money that Ghana got from the IMF in 1999, in 2003, in 2009, in 2015 combined. Ask your government. Those of you who are there still supporting Akufo Addo in his misery, still supporting Akufo Addo in his gross incompetence, ask your government, ask Akufo Addo, say, what did they do with the $2.4 billion that the IMF, including other international organizations, gave to Ghana as COVID-19 relief or COVID-19 support fund or money? Ask your government. Don't ask me. Ask your government. Hold your leadership accountable. What has the government done with that $2.4 billion? Where is the money? And mind you, this $2.4 billion is exclusive of the other grants, the other aids, and other borrowed monies that we got from China, we got from other countries or nations. Sika Ghana abai under Akufo Addo aboro. Let us put the 2.4 billion somewhere. Let us put that money aside. Sika abai na kasa aboro no. More than what Mahama borrowed, or more than what Mahama consumed within the span of 4 years when he was president. Akufo Addo baye in just 6 years. Akufo Addo has borrowed more than the NDC government. And he was given 2.4 billion as COVID-19 support. COVID-19 yare no baye no. Ghana buy cry geni more than, I can boldly say, more than any other nation on earth. And I say African leaderships, African governments gained from COVID-19 more than any other nation on earth or any other continent. But let me restrict myself to Ghana. They were given 2.4 billion US dollars. This is not Zimbabwean dollar. This is not Canadian, Australian, Liberian dollar. This is not Singaporean dollar. This is the almighty, the international reserve currency, the US dollar. 2.4 billion. What has the government done with that money? They should come out and explain to the people. Moma kenoforiata original parliament na opem so no church rase Ghana frontier se nia abai no this 2.4 billion no aye. And all the monies that they have borrowed over the span of 6 years that they have been in power, let them come out and let the people understand or know what they have done with all that money. And today 2022, just a span of 2 years, 2.4 billion ye dear. In just a span of 2 years, Ghanaians have been able to squander. I wouldn't even say Ghanaians, your leadership, the people that you voted for into power. They have been able to squander 2.4 billion US dollars. In less than 2 years, or in exactly 2 years, they are going back to the IMF for more money. So if I sit here and tell you, say, going back to the IMF is an error, don't come here and give me figures. Don't come here and give me your knowledge in books to try to explain and to justify why Ghana must go back to the IMF and why going to the IMF is not a crime. Why going back to the IMF, we are the ones making it look like something evil. Kennedy and Japan came out to make you understand. They say any government that goes to the IMF has failed. And I'm here telling you the same thing. That if you have given this government 2.4 billion US dollars and in just a span of 2 years, they are going back to the IMF for more money. It tells you if they were not able to do anything productive with 2.4 billion, how much are we going to be giving in 2022 by the IMF? What do you think, sir? If Akufo Addo and Bawumia couldn't do anything, if Akufo Addo, Bawumia, Kenoforiata couldn't do anything with 2.4 billion US dollars, in just a matter of 2 years, the money is finished. We are going back for more money. Are you telling me, Sasi Kana Yakwako Jeno and Nona Yadibe Dia Organa ha? 2.4 billion in a span of 30 years. 1999, 2003, 2009, 2015, sika muji ye na amounted to 1 point something billion. Ama in 2020, yes, some 2.4 billion US dollars as COVID support. And also more in 2022, we are going back for more money. What are we going to do with that money? A dear bad dinner buy with this Sasikano Baye. Sasikano ebesa beye e ka adagana for him. Ama enchima betria, ama enchima bre. TME pa. Enti wa ye kasa. Now the politics. Wa wuti kumase baby bia wuti bia yesan say wo yan pipi ni nti ye kasa na obuafuo na ode ye politics no me church mu ama wate ase say ne wo ye no ejimie muntie mie pa ene me ba mo so kumase me tiesi mu kumase nana otumfo pia o me ba wo mfikyire ya nana otumfo me ba wo mfikyire onkofo no ya na omo nti bibi ase ne nti America ne sane say omo na omo di party we echi kese Ghana ye ka omo toma NPP pa is the Kumasi people, is the Asante people. And this your party, I'm telling you, under Akufo Addo, they have wrecked this nation and they continue to do so. I have given you the figures courtesy of Joy News. 2.4 billion. More bino, yentio bia bino. Se mo kofa koto krampo de NPP colors kwabu kru ni ho a ye beto amakoto no mo ban na Moses sebi se kofa ponche kra be gina ho akomase for de Moses mo beto amasa ponche no in the name of NPP no aban no say bra omo bonye bra aban ni bonye in less than 2 years. Which government? 30 million people, 2.4 billion, and nothing has been done. Ebes na Ghana for that so na mfuturu. Ghana for are still lacking the basic things of life. Ebesi na unsuoma. Kumase all the street lights e krampo dundum enye juma. Enso to a famo e fi do kromo. The system is so bad. And in just 2 years, this government has squandered 2.4 billion US dollars. And because of your partisan nature, because of just a wakasa ujimia wa jiminti. Umpese ebe kasa. Masa we are Santinintia and non chesa to unyansa ma NPP. We are Santinia and non chesa Jimmy. We are Kania and non chesa to unyansa and the waje Emma NPP. We are Votania, we are Ewenia and non chesa to unyansa and the waje ma NDC. Me say Ghana for ya me. Semania mon penny for no. Ombekoso afa mo se moa. Ombekoso etriti mo se moa. Ombekoso treating musa refraps. Ombekoso treating musa kwasiafo. Ombekoso treating musa nipa bia munim nyansa. Muni agyen wo mutrim. So you see why going back to the IMF is look, it has failed on arrival. Because you were giving 2.4 billion US dollars in just 2020. Sikana-san. Oh, Sako back for more money. And you still trust this government to be able to deliver. By going back to the IMF, you still trust this government. Akufo Addo is here flying jets. Akufo Addo is here buying stones from Israel to build cathedral. And here we are. A nation which is being overseen by God. A nation which is blessed by God. A nation whose citizens are more prayerful. They drink the blood of Jesus more than any other citizens on earth. We are here. In just 2020, we were given 2.4 billion US dollars. Do you know what that money can do? Do you know 2.4 billion dollars? Do you know what that money can do? Today, where is that money? We have squandered asa, and we are going back to beg for more money. And IMF will never say no. Why? Because the more you count for money, the more debt you pile up for yourself. And the more debt you pile up for yourself, the more you keep enslaving yourselves within your own economies. You will never grow. You will never progress. And they'll keep dictating to you what you must do and what you must not do. That is why they cannot go to the Arab Gulf. They cannot go to Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Kuwait, and all these countries and go and tell them to accept gayism. But they come to Africa, they come to Ghana and force gayism down your throat, even when your cultures, your religions, and your tradition doesn't accept or condone. Why? Because you come to them cap in hand. Why? Because you are in debt. Why? Because you are a highly indebted poor country because of our incompetence and folly and stupidity. These are the issues we must tackle as a people. These are the issues we must tackle as a people because you are incompetent, because most of us are stupid. You are draining your juma. So no matter how the nation is being governed, you will still find some people who are still partisan, who can sit in Kumasi and say, yeah, there's someone you ponche crumble by, but twaba no kwasiafo. Yes, as a munim nyansenti na yefamusa. Some of you, munim nyansenti, and abiding Jimmy will say, they wreck your nation, they wreck your future. While you're school, 10 years in utifie, unya jumanye, ubi bia e basa abroche na opako, Libya contour na opako. And when we talk, you sit there in your folly, go and use your 1 cedi, 2 cedi to buy credits, MTN transfer, and talk rubbish and comment stupidity. Because some of you, your brains are dead. Let us wise up. These are the reasons why we are telling you, going back to the IMF is a crime against the nation. It's a national crime. We must do the needful. We can generate any money we want in this country. Number one, let me give the president some few tips. The president must cut down on the gargantuan ministers. 120, even a whole China with 1.4 billion people. How many ministers do they have in China? So how can small Ghana with 30 million people have over 120 ministers? The president must reduce the ministerial appointees to about 20. Should take out 100. So all that money, at least all that money can go back to the national coffers for development. And the president must stop boarding private jets. Luxurious private jets must go with what Ghanaians have offered him. And again, they must cut down on the convoy. The presidents can move in just about convoy, in a convoy of maybe 3 or 4 or 5 cars, maximum 5. There's no need for the president of a poor nation, which is begging IMF for relief, which is begging IMF for money for bailout, to drive around in 120 cars, 150 cars, 200 cars. Is gross stupidity and incompetence. It's an insult to you, the people, to you, the civilians. These are the things we are talking about. We can generate that money in this country. We can generate that money in Ghana. Right here in Ghana, we don't have to go back to any IMF. The money is here. Sani Akufo Addo mamo ti ase no. Yet sika so na so komodien. Sika no wa ha, ono aka so onim dada. Sika no wa ha. Na so esa na bro jimie nkwasi asem nti, they better squander the money and go and beg for more money to squander. So if you are there and still believe that this government, by going back to IMF, can do something better with that money, you must be kidding. You must go for brain checkup. You are crazy, I'm telling you. You are crazy, you are sick, you are mad, you are a fool. You are Nikompu. Tell you for a fact, you know, with no remorse, with no apology, because the data is clear. Just imagine the folly. You gave me $2.4 billion in just 2020. We are in 2022, just 2 years down the line. But this kind of way, and I'm coming back to you, say, I need more money. And you still trust me, say, by giving me more money, I will be able to do something substantial. Are you mad? Are you crazy? What about them? What about them? What do you need, Juma? And I say, boom. Let us speak the truth to power. So I'm telling you, say, someone nyansa. Now, someone who said there is a need for you guys to hold your leadership accountable. Or my way, send your Sri Lanka for sorry, I hold their leadership accountable. No, I am expecting Ghanaians to equally wake up and hold leadership accountable, because they are messing up your lives. They are destroying your economy. They are destroying the lives of the current and the future generations. So we must wake up and do the needful. We must wake up and put aside our partisan politics, our tribalistic way of life, and hold leadership accountable. It's as simple as that. So, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Ebusiara will say, our website is still up and running. www.freemindfamily.org. All articles on, you know, politics, entertainment, celebrity news, world news. News will be our PBR. You're going to find them on our official website, which is freemindfamily.org. It's as simple as that. Or Facebook, our page near Freemind Family. Those of you on TikTok, Freemind Family. Twitter, Instagram, Freemind Family. And those of you watching on YouTube, Don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and like the video. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Chairman Freemind. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Makramo.
Thank you so much. Abusia, so what I say now show me. Now pe authentic news. How I pay newspaper tiape news I no kora. www.freemindfamily.org. Forget about the bloggers. Forget the bloggers now. Omo be ma caption hu. E dia ba be traffic no. Omo san kan kura san chira. Nam social media open very authentic news. No other website. Me Freemind Family now when I'm reading me news. Freemindfamily.org. www.freemindfamily.org. Ko honum I want a news that no credit to